What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am currently back and I am in a little box room in London, what place I like to call Little India. And what that means is we're in a sector of town where they have the best doner kebab meat in the world. And if you haven't had a doner kebab, you're missing out, baby. It's this kind of cylindrical spinning spike that kind of spins around in a heated thing, like you guys are probably seeing rotisserie chicken spin in a Stop and Shop. And they're basting it with these libaceous, delicious juices. And then they put a little rice in there and stuff. That's called actually a sheesh. And then the bob is in there in like a little pita type thing. And you're like, oh, so good. I call it street meat and I fucking love it. But I just finished up the builder tour. It is currently July 28th. It's been a while since we recorded the last one of these things. A lot has happened. I will update you on some of it, but I do have a true agenda that I want to get across today, which is a story that I'd like to tell and a story I'd like to achieve in. I was just watching one of Nick Bear's marathon videos because I was like, I need to get hyped up for this upcoming Swimrun World Championships I'm about to do. And I have to say, this guy's inspiring. You know, there's a lot of haters out there. You know, I may have even been a hater at one point. I was like, fuck this guy. I got to smash him. And he inspired me to do my first marathon because I was like, I could beat him and I'm bigger than him. And, you know, even though that was a competitive mindset, which I truly have is like sewn into the nature of who I am as a person, I'm not a real hater. I just like to beat people that I consider myself competitive with. But then I watched his video and I'm not competing against him in anything. Like he's not coming to Swimrun World Championships. And I was just watching him and he's a great storyteller. He's an inspiring person. He's an intelligent person. He's built an incredible business. You know, I've started my own supplement company that's probably 1/1 billionth of the size of his. But to see somebody who has the same kind of drive in business and in athletics, and even if you don't consider yourself an athlete, just like a journeyman, which he's more so of, it's incredible, you know, to be able to put yourself on the starting line of both business and competition is so challenging because the life of an athlete is competitive in its nature. No matter what, you are up against some kind of score or measure, meaning that how high did you jump? How far did you run? How fast did you run? How much weight did you lift? Blah, blah, blah. In business, it's the same exact thing. It's like, you know, how many employees do you have? What's your revenue? How many units do you sell? How many storefronts do you have? You know, how many impressions do you get? And, you know, that's the same exact thing. When you're in the gym training, you can't just focus on biceps. There's the whole other half of your arm. Like you need to focus on both sides of that aspect to become a stronger person. You know, if you're just in the gym all the time lifting weights, you're never truly conditioning your body fully. You're not out there doing the running. And if you're not doing the running, then all of a sudden, when push comes to shove, eventually you're going to tire out and someone's going to outwork you. And then last but not least is the mindset. That's been the one thing that I pushed harder than anybody else on, at least in my environment. I always say that, you know, most of the guys I compete against, similar body types, not like massively the same, but nothing super crazy. And they may run a 5K around the same time as me. They may bench as much as me. They may do this. Nothing super different. But the reality is I just have a mindset where I recognize that if you and I both have the same pair of shoes and we both have the same nutrition, and we both have the same watches we're running in, and we both worked out and done as many miles, what's the difference? It's my decision to outwork you. It's my decision to take risks. It's my decision to work myself to the point where I don't want to go anymore and where you may want to quit and say, hey, I've done my share of work today. I feel satisfied. I'm never satisfied because satisfaction is for dummies. I mean, I hope at some point in my life I'm satisfied, but the fact that I'm 33 years old, I still have a lot of energy and I have a lot of opportunity, and I'd much rather be hungry than happy. You know, happiness, I think, is an illusion. It's something that you have been told your entire life through Disney movies and other stories of what other people's version of happiness is. And you're led to believe that that's your version of happiness. My version of happiness is built around insanity. You know, I love living out of duffel bags all around the world, taking on contests, challenges, business endeavors, feeling less sleep than I need and more food than I need. And all of these things I live in surplus or sometimes in less than that, you know, and I don't mind the challenge and I love it. That leads me into my next chapter, which is this up and coming event that I'm doing called Swimrun World Championships. And if you guys have never heard of Swimrun, It's the sport of running and swimming combined. So if you imagine a triathlon is, swim, bike, run. Swim run is you take away the bike, but you're interchanging in and out of the water an infinite amount of times. Like, sometimes in a race, you may get in and out of the water once or twice. And sometimes like this Swimrun World Championships that I'm going to do, I'll be in and out of the water 26 times. And for that matter, we'll get in and out of the water 26 times and we will be running 39 miles and doing 6 miles of swimming. That means 26 islands that we'll be crossing. And when I say we, I mean my girlfriend Katie and I will be doing the co-ed division. And the reason why I decided to do this event is because years ago in 2015, I filmed a television show called Boundless, where I got the opportunity at the age of 25 to travel the world doing the hardest endurance races. It was on Esquire Network. And out of the 10 races, I maybe dropped out of 5 of them. This one, I actually didn't fail. We did moderately well. I think we took 39th out of everyone in the world, which was pretty good. I think there's only like 160 teams, so it's not massively incredible, but we were in the top, 30% maybe. I got the thing done and I was so inspired, but I was rushed. I basically was burnt out on doing so many of these Boundless events, which are all these ultra endurance events where, they wanted to see if man or woman could survive 10 of the hardest endurance races in 1 year. And I survived this one, but I didn't feel like I really got to live it and love it. And I'm the kind of person, when I do something once in my life, I do want to come back and see if I can push myself further. It's much easier to go in the gym and see if you bench heavier one Monday than the next. That's easy. But showing up for a marathon and beating your next marathon time, that's tough. Showing up for an Ironman and beating your next Ironman time, that's tough. Showing up for Swimrun World Championships is super tough. I mean, this is one of the hardest races in the entire world. And we're up in the Swedish archipelago. It basically was started in 2002 when a bunch of guys were at a table, 4 dudes. They were drinking, and there was a napkin on the table, and there was a map on the napkin. And it was of the Swedish archipelago where they were sitting right there at a table drinking beer. Dudes started talking shit, as we all do. And eventually it came down to like, there's no chance that you two could make it from here to Utu, which is an island, swimming and running across all these islands. And they're like, fuck yeah, I could, bro. Have you seen me? I'm jacked, I'm beautiful, and I'm better than you, which most of us men will sometimes boast, or maybe that's just me and these guys. So they started that next day, and it took them 24 hours to accomplish this task. Both, there were teams of pairs, and now obviously, years later, there's still teams of pairs, and there's up to 160 teams. But from 2002 to 2006, it was dead silent. And then the 2 race founders right now, Michael and I'm losing the other guy's name, came in as race directors and made this thing a challenging sport that was open to the world. And only 11 people showed up the first time. And, it stayed around that number for the first couple of years. And then all of a sudden, as fanfare happens, much like it did in Ironman, it went from this kind of cult following micro sports to a worldwide phenomenon. There's swim run races all over the world now, but this being the pinnacle, there's a very select few that get to come. Only the most elite athletes and most fit athletes can come, and not all of them accomplish the task. There are very harsh time cutoffs. And my friend Rory, who was racing with us that year, she was on a team with Turbo. I was on a team with Simon. They got cut off, and I watched her dumping tears. It was a very sad moment to witness, one of my race partners, a good friends, not be able to make the cutoff. And she's a phenomenal athlete. Turbo, no offense, you sucked at swimming, brother. So, you can get cut off, and you have to spend a significant amount of money. It's $1,600 American. That doesn't include the $3,000 in flights. That doesn't include the stay when you get there, the food when you're there. They do take care of you a lot when you get into the actual event. They take you on a boat from Stockholm over to the Swimrun World Championships island in Utu, and then they feed you and they house you. Like, it's a super great establishment. It's worth the money. But I'm saying it is an investment of time of training, money out of your pocket, and just like your heart and soul. So I personally thought to myself, I was like, I'm kind of on the verge of retiring, or maybe just reconsidering what I want to do over the next couple of years. I've been doing high rocks since 2019, and I've been at the top of the food chain with a couple losses, which I'm not happy about, but whatever happens. There's chinks in everyone's armor. But I'm at this point at 33 years old where I'm just fit as a fiddle, and I am looking to have a little bit more blood in my life. Like I want to bite my lip and taste that blood again. I want a little bit of fear and challenge in my life. So why not sign up for one of the hardest races in the entire world on the other side of the world and really just give it the best go? So I thought of Swimrun World Championships, and my girlfriend's always wanted to race with me. She's always like, well, we should try this. We should try this. Nothing's really inspired me. I mean, I've done a lot, and all of it's been incredible. Don't get me wrong, but what's truly going to be the thing that tips me over the edge and puts a little fear in my heart? It was Swimrun World Championships. So here's what it looks like. I'll be totally honest. I just got over a bodybuilding phase. I'm jacked. My arms look like they're freaking two Ripley pythons trying to break out of a zoo. And I'm just strapping these things to my side. And I look like a Greek god, baby. I can move weight. I look good with my shirt off. But that being said, I probably have the swimming capacity of that of a hippo with its legs cut off. I am a fat man in the water. And I've done almost zero swim training. I did a lot last summer, but it's been a year, and I've probably done 2 swim sessions, and it's not normal swimming. You guys, we are swimming with hand paddles on because it's so much swimming. They need people to move a little bit faster than a normal swimmer would. And we are in wetsuits with our sleeves cut off and our legs cut off so that we can basically run. And you have a buoy attached to your legs just for safety's sake. So what this looks like is, this kind of cyborg experience of swimming. I'm strong. So when I did the Swim Run Championships last time, 2015, I just muscled it. And it worked out. I actually was stronger than my swimming partner. And because these paddles, having that extra surface space, you can really torque it. Here's the thing. I think Katie's a better swimmer than me. So what I'm going to try to do is actually get, between now and then, we have 5 weeks. I'm going to try to get 2 swims in a week. So that's going to be 8 swim sessions between now and the World Championships, maybe 3 on the last 2 weeks just to sharpen up. I am going to try to get in anywhere between 50 and 100K of running a week. So this week, I'm probably going to get about 50K, maybe 60. Next week, I'm going to go for 60, 70. Following week, I'm going to go 70, 80, and then try to push it up. And I'm going to really push myself because you know what? I don't care if I end up getting tired. I'll taper before this race. But I'd rather be sore and prepared than not prepared. And the thing is Katie's not as fast as a runner as I am. So I only have to train at this certain level of about a 7:30 to 8-minute mile pace, but be able to hold it forever. I'm probably going to be the pack horse. I'm probably going to have to carry the food and the water for us. I'll probably bring Boa. Honestly, I don't think you can't take a water bottle like this with you. You'll be able to have a flask and stuff like that, but you can't take something big. And some of these runs are 13 miles long, and some of the swims are 1,800 meters long. So we'll just have the little Boa spray can. If you guys haven't tried that awesome product, you guys should look it up, Boa Blast. We're going to be doing gels. We'll be eating random food. I'll admit, last time I chugged so much salt water, it absolutely ripped apart my stomach. Probably had to be the hardest part of the race is the fact that this is not in a lake. It is in a choppy ocean. And over this time, over the next 4 weeks, I'm going from London to Geneva to Chamonix to the south of France, back to Geneva, flying on the 14th to California, in California for 2 weeks, and then flying back to what is it called? Sweden. Wow, I'm out of it. And in between that 2 weeks when I'm in the United States, I'm going to my buddy Turk's wedding. Luckily, I got invited as a groom. And if he didn't invite me as a groomsman, I would have been like, F you, dude. I'm not into it. No, I'm just kidding. But all my friends are getting married. I have literally 3 weddings this summer. And everybody wants you to get drunk. Rough stuff. So you guys can tell that I have a pretty hectic schedule ahead of me. So here's what I'm asking. If you guys have any things you'd like me to talk about, teach about, explore with you, please comment below. There's a lot of stuff going on. And also, if I haven't told you, and you guys haven't watched some of my other YouTube videos, I am trying to paddle and find my way into the Olympics. And I'm not trying, I'm going to give it every ounce of strength that I have. When I get back from the Swimrun World Championships, I'm in a boat until about March. If I do not know that I can make it by March, I'll drop it. You know what? But 6 months of my life in a boat, worst things have happened. People spend their lives in prison for like 60 years. I'm going to put myself in a boat and I'm going to hustle. I am still training through massive amounts of strength training just to keep my bench and my row strong for the paddling. I'm going to be doing lots of miles. So you're going to watch me get a little bit skinnier. I'm going to be doing lots of swimming and lots of traveling. If you're a person like this that has this kind of hectic lifestyle and owns a business, maybe has a family, is traveling all over the world and stuff, but you still don't want to let that be an excuse for you so you can take on some of these grandiose tasks, we're living the same life, brother. And if I can help support you along the way, let me know. But comment below, guys, and keep me posted on any questions or journeys you have. And if I can support from afar, I'll do my best. This is Morning Wood Radio, episode 2, over and out. And I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Wish me luck.